Hey everybody, I hope you are doing okay, staying safe and staying healthy on our weird coronavirus hiatus from school. I just wanted to drop you like a video lesson instead of just posting things on Google Classroom. So I've rigged up my TV with my slides, and these would be like notes we would take in class regularly to sort of set you up to do the activity that I posted on Google Classroom. So if you want to learn something about argumentation and argumentative writing, here you go. If you don't, the best advice I can give to you to further your education without being at school is just to read. Read as much as you can. Read what's interesting to you. Read something that challenges you. But also write, and maybe write some argumentative style things. So this I took mostly from our My Perspectives textbook, the examples that they gave and such. So if you look at the textbook, this would be something similar to what you would see. Here we go. If you want to learn about argumentative writing, let's go. So argumentative writing is essentially, what argumentation is. It's the way that you sort of persuade people or try to get someone to see from your point of view and argue sort of why you are right. And it is not always easy because an effective argument has to contain a claim, what you are claiming is true, and then you have to support that with logical reasoning and evidence that backs up your claim. It needs to be organized. There's nothing worse than having a good something to say or a good idea and being so disorganized that you can't get your thoughts out, and so people think that you're dumb. And then, you also need to address why people who believe opposite of you are wrong. That just makes your argument stronger. And just for clarification, when we talk about argumentation and argumentative writing, we're talking about like an open exchange flow of ideas where you sort of present your side, but you're not just like screaming at someone saying why they're stupid because they don't believe what you believe. This also isn't like a petty argument that you get in with your mom because you didn't clean your room, or arguing with a sibling over whose turn it is to play the one Nintendo Switch. Argumentation in like an academic setting is much more about logic and reasoning and presenting your side of something in a way that persuades other people to believe why you are correct. You see argumentation all the time in daily life. So I put up a bunch of examples here and pictures of some of these. So at the top you can see the Coca-Cola ad. Advertisements are all arguments of why you should buy this product. It's a way for them to say this is what you should spend your money on. Calls to action, obviously that button doesn't really do anything, but when you hear a call to action maybe on the news or something, that's an argumentative style essay thing. New York Times or any newspaper really posts op-eds or letters to the editor where people give their opinions and their arguments. Propaganda is an interesting one. So this is a piece of U.S., propaganda from World War II telling you to buy government bonds. Not all propaganda is this tame. This is pretty tame. There are other examples. And then persuasive speeches. Martin Luther King's iconic I Have a Dream speech was all about, why should everybody be treated equally? And he presented his argument in a very, very compelling way. So you see argumentative reasoning all the time if you look close enough. And there are like 6 terms, I think, that as we move forward with this online distance learning or whatever, you will probably need. These are always in the My Perspectives stuff if you need them as well, but we'll just go through them real quickly and they'll set you up nicely to do the activity I've posted online. So the first 2 are argument and claim, and so each of these has a definition and an example, and most of the examples they're pulling are from like Revolutionary War like papers, which whatever. So I'll sort of talk you through each of them. So an argument is a type of writing in which an author attempts to prove that his or her position or stance on a topic is better than the other points of view. You're arguing why you think what you think and why it's right. So here's the example they gave, and I'm reading these off phone. That's why I'm like looking down, because it's really awkward for me to like crane my neck to see these. So, Common Sense by Thomas Paine is a famous argument essay written in 1776 to convince readers in colonial America that independence from Great Britain was really necessary. So that's sort of the big argument. We need to be independent from Britain. Okay, very broad. Argument is sort of the broadest term, then everything else sort of narrows from there. Every argument has to have a claim. What are you talking about? What are you claiming is right or the best thing to believe, or etc. So an author's claim is his or her position on a stance, a topic. It is the point that the author is arguing. The textbook has a video that you could watch about a woman named Heap Lee, and she's talking about sort of America as like the melting pot kind of. And so her claim in the video, if you want to watch it, I'll link it here. America's a choice. If you have the pursuit of an American dream, you want to honor the American Constitution, and you want to make America proud, then you are an American. So giving a lot broader view of America than some people might, and that's her claim. All right, those are the first two. Next two, come on. There we go. Reasons and evidence, and these two are very, very similar, but they do have a small distinction. So when you reason with someone, it's when an author supports their claim with logical reasoning. The reasons explains why the author feels the way that they do about a topic. It's not exactly the same thing as evidence. Reasoning has a lot to do more with like words and logical arguments that sort of flow together, and I'll get to evidence in just a second. But here's the example for reasons. One reason Thomas Paine gave his readers for the logic of separating from Great Britain was the great physical distance between Great Britain and the colonies. So that's one logical reason. Oh yeah, there's an ocean between us. Maybe it'd be a good thing for us to be separate governances. Evidence, on the other hand, is used to support your argument in sort of a different way. It uses like other facts, statistics, anecdotes, which are stories, examples, quotations from experts or authorities, quotations from other texts. So they're more like, reasons are like specifically like what you believe, and here's like the reasons why, and evidence is used to sort of support that. Well, 9 out of 10 dentists say that this toothpaste is the best. I mean, that's kind of a dumb example, but you're pulling in things from other sources to support the reasons. And the example that they have is as evidence that the hereditary succession of a monarchy does not keep peace in a country, Paine pointed out that since the beginning of the English monarchy, there were 8 civil wars and 19 rebellions. So one of the arguments, was that the monarchy helped keep the peace, and he's saying, no, look, I don't think it keeps the peace. We should be separate from Britain. And also, look, we've had, 8 civil wars, so clearly it's not doing a very good job of keeping the peace. He pulls in evidence from other sources. All right, dos más. Counterclaim. As you talk about whatever you want to talk about, as you argue your point, if you don't address counterclaims, you seem kind of one-sided and uninformed about the reasoning of other people. So a counterclaim, it presents a view that it contradicts the claim that the author makes. And so what really makes an argument strong is if you present your claim and then you talk about the reasons why it's important and, right, whatever, and then you present a counterclaim and you say why it's wrong. But here's an example of a counterclaim. One counterclaim described in Paine's Common Sense was that a hereditary monarchy creates stability and peace in its lands. And then he actually, in the evidence that we just heard, tells us why that's wrong. And then all good arguments end with a call to action. So you've been told what about something, and what do you want to do about it? Like, what's the point? Now that you know this, what are you supposed to do? So it's defined as a request or directive for the audience or readers to act in a way that helps resolve the issue presented in the argument. So if you're writing an argument about climate change, well, maybe your call to action would be, go do something, go clean up a beach, start a recycling program, sort of stop the use of single-use plastics. It tells you what to do. So here's an example from Common Sense, the Thomas Paine essay. The main call to action of common sense was a strong demand that the colonies declare independence from Britain. So he's told you all the reasons why, and now he says, get behind me in this fight. All right, that's all I got for you. There is more on argumentation to come, but if you need me, drop me an email. I am hoping to see you all again soon, whether that be days, weeks, months from now. I hope you all stay safe and stay healthy. Let me know if you need anything. Peace out.